Welcome back to nat+Q. So today we're gonna answer some questions about our relationship, I guess. I don't know. You know how some people say that stupid stuff? No, not stupid. But you know how some people say they don't see color. When I look at Nat, I only say, "Oh, she's white," but she is white. So today we're answering questions that interracial people get asked. The first question: how does your family feel about the other person's race?
My mom.
So like when you first told him that
when I first told
so
her,
like did you tell her that like obviously you might told her you have a boyfriend, but did you tell her that he was black?
Well, she knows who you are.
That's not the point. They don't know that.
I told her I was dating you, and then she knew who you were. And at first she was like, when we first started talking, like in high school, she was like kind of upset. She was like, "Oh, I don't want to braid your kid's hair." But then like eventually after she got to know you better, and then like
so she said that she don't want to braid your kids?
Yeah, she literally said that. And then eventually once we didn't start dating at that time, like time passed by, and then I came to college, and then she got to know you a lot better. When I told her that we were dating, she was fine. She was okay with it. She was like, as long as he makes you happy, like I don't care, like whatever.
So how did you feel when she said she don't want to braid our kids' hair?
I got upset. I was like, so if my children come out with like whatever type of hair and you won't braid them, texture. Yeah, like I was like annoyed, like what the fuck, that's the first thing you're thinking, like that's the least of my worries. Like braiding the hair. But like I don't know, I low-key didn't want to say that because I don't want her to seem like come off as
it's authentic, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And like now she loves you. She tells him she loves him more than she tells me. Whenever she sees him, she's like, I love you. Right?
Yeah.
And then my stepdad, like from the beginning, he liked him. Mm-hmm. And then my dad has never met you. And then the rest of my family.
Hey, he's met me on YouTube though.
And then but my dad did say that like as long as he makes me happy, like he doesn't care. He didn't even bring up the race thing. He never brought it up. He just said like whatever, as long as he was just talking about like a man in general, like a man that makes you happy, like I don't care. Mm-hmm. And then my sister, she's never brought up the race. No one else brought up my race. Oh, my mom's friends in Colombia, they're like, he's really handsome. They say that, but that's it.
Personally, me, like I don't remember how I told my parents that I was dating, I guess, outside of my race. I don't really think I even said that. I just said that I'm dating someone. I said who you were. Maybe I might describe you. I wouldn't have said that you were white. Maybe I just said, oh, she's just Colombian. I don't know. But regardless, that wouldn't be a fact because there are many people, at least from my mom's side of the family, who have their partners are of the other race, like not of race, but their partner is white, or they have mixed kids. So like it's not really an issue, at least because everyone grew up in London. And my mom herself has a white partner too, so that's not really a big issue. Mm-hmm. My dad grew up in London, so he's used to like mixed or diverse couples, so it wasn't really an issue with him either. My grandparents didn't say anything. They weren't like, oh, don't date a white person, like, Your
grandma loves me.
Yeah.
His grandma's pressuring him to marry me almost. He's like, or like your grandparents, they're always like, so have you proposed yet?
Yeah, but yes, I haven't had any issues with my immediate family members saying anything. Oh, like, oh, you shouldn't date a white person. Oh, be careful with dating a white person. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so.
Yeah, I haven't really had any issues either.
But then again, I'm not fully American, so maybe American people are different. Or American black people are different.
The next question says, wouldn't it be easier to date your own race? Okay, I'm going to start answering this because it's so difficult because yes, I'm not answering that. Yes, I am white, but that doesn't, like, I can date white people come from anywhere. Like, they can come from South America, North America, Europe, even there's white people in Africa and South Africa and stuff. Like, what does that mean? I can date anyone from anywhere. So, like, no, it wouldn't be easier because I don't, like, when I was looking for someone, I wasn't really looking for someone today, but, like, when I was, like, I just wanted
You weren't looking for me?
No.
You weren't looking for me? Okay.
Stop being annoying. When I was, like, I guess, like, dating, I wasn't like, oh, they have to be white or they have to be Hispanic. They was just, like, dating whoever I, like, connected with. I don't know. And the one condition, though, I did want someone that my family liked because I didn't want to be in that situation where it was, like, choosing my family over, yo, what the fuck, that shit just got dark as fuck. You go forward, and I go back. Okay. I didn't want to be in a situation where, like, my family, like, hated the person I was with.
What's the question again? Would it be easier to just date someone in your own race? Wouldn't it be easier? I don't really have like an answer to that question. Like, I don't see how would my life be easier or how would it be different. I guess not really. I don't really see that it would be easier. I feel like if you find something you like and you love, like, why should where that person's from shouldn't really matter or affect your decisions, you know? Like, I get it, there are people that are pro-black and then people that are pro-white, and I respect that, you know? Like, that's because I'm dating from another race doesn't really take away from my own personal belief of black people and stuff like that. So, like, I'm not gonna be to the point where I'm pro-black so I can't date a white person, or if you're pro-white, it doesn't mean you can't date a black person, you know, or a person of a different ethnicity. Is it ethnicity? Is it race? What is? I don't know what it is.
I think it's race.
But yeah, so I think I answered that question. Do you only date black people, or for me, white people, or Latina?
No.
No. No. My answer is no. Although I do have a preference to Latinas, though. I don't know. I just want a little Latin in my chemistry, but this doesn't matter. Why are you rolling your eyes for?
Because I know he likes Brazilians and Colombians.
Yeah, but that's not a color group, though. You know, so
I
like
know.
it's Latina. It's not like, oh, you have to be white Colombian or white Brazilian. There are black Brazilians. There are black Colombians. It's just I just like the flavor, not flavor, but you know, I don't know. Let me stop before I get myself in trouble because she's already annoyed. You're not even looking at camera anymore. Question is, don't you deal with so much prejudice?
I don't notice that stuff though. I think you notice it more than I do. People giving me looks or whatever.
Yeah.
I never noticed it. I only noticed it one time at the airport.
What happened at the airport?
That the guy stopped you, the officer stopped you, and then he was gonna ask you questions. And then when I like pulled up behind you, and he looked at me, and then he looked at you, and he's like, "Have a good day." Remember that? He asked me like, "Oh,
are you with him or something?"
And I was like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Okay." He gave you your passport back, and he was like, "Have a good day."
Damn. Oh yeah, man. I was trying to ask you multiple questions. I was like, yo, I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a UK citizen. I got passes everywhere. But yeah, like she said, she doesn't really notice those things. I don't know why she doesn't. Maybe she's blissfully unaware. But I notice stuff like that. But it is what it is. Like, I don't really care what they think.
I do. We have had like the opposite. We've had multiple people tell us we're a beautiful couple.
Which is cool.
We've had more than one person say that. At least two people.
And I guess that also ties on to our next question. Don't people just stare at you when you go on dates? And so,
like I said, I don't notice it.
She doesn't notice it, but we have had people come to us and say positive things, which is great, because I know there was probably a time back in the day when people of interracial were given like dirty looks or
I'm sure we have probably received dirty looks. I've never noticed it.
I've seen us get dirty looks, and I commented to it like to Nat, but like once the look is gone, the look is gone, you know. And I'm not gonna.
I get so upset, like I want to fight.
Yeah, she's like a pit bull, not a pit bull. Let me not give pit bull as a bad word. She's like a chihuahua. She just starts barking. She gets angry. She gets heated. But I know she's not a fighter though. You're not a fighter. You wouldn't do anything. Yeah, but I get angry. Where she gets angry, yeah. But the world is changing, so hopefully we don't receive too many negative looks. And I hope that.
Is it changing though with all this?
I hope that the hate isn't like passed down, even though as we see in America, unfortunately, hate is still there and being dished out, even by the young people.
The next question says, do you get frustrated not being able to express yourself in your own language?
I think this question is an interesting question because
our language is English.
our language is English, but at the same time, like I think they meant like race language, but also you are bilingual, so you do have a different language that you speak that I'm not fluent with.
But it's not like, yes, it was the language I learned first, the language I spoke at home, but like that's not the language I think in anymore. You know what I'm saying?
But there were times when you were like, oh, how do you say this in English? And I'm like,
yeah, like it's just weird because like it's weird for me because I feel like I'm not fully American. Like I don't know English. Like I know English obviously like fluently. Like I'm studying in English and all of that. But there's times I forget words in English, but I only know them in Spanish. And there's times in Spanish where I forget words in Spanish, I only know them in English. And like like I feel like I'm neither here nor there, like neither from here nor there. So like people in Colombia see me as like an American, people here see me as like a Colombian. So it's like sometimes I feel like I'm just like stuck in limbo.
But do you get frustrated though in terms of a relationship?
No, I don't get frustrated. There's times where I'm like, I am trying to say something, I just can't think of the word, so I have to go and like translate it. But then he learns a word, so it's fine.
Yeah, I don't get frustrated because she knows English, or like even in terms of, I guess the only things that in terms of language, in terms of like colloquialism, like I might show her some like slang or some culture references that she wouldn't necessarily know. No. Reading harp and finish.
Okay, read the questions.
Another question that they said is, but think of the children, aren't you afraid they're gonna get bullied?
Yo, that is one of my biggest fears. Like watching these movies like The Hate You Give and like all these movies that are like racial movies or whatever, I always bawl. Like literally I cry the whole movie. Like literally I just think, oh my god, I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. And what was that other movie with the guy with the eyebrows? The one where he was a police officer and he was like really mean.
Detroit?
Yeah, something like that. Like I cried that whole movie too. And like just thinking about that could potentially happen to my kids makes me so sad.
So like you're saying is that because that you feel that we will have kids one day, you're afraid that since they will come off as black, like you're afraid that they'll get affected by society, especially society in America with the police violence?
Yeah, like I'm literally like so scared that my kids are gonna get killed by police one day.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
I really hope that doesn't happen, but I'm scared like that they're gonna get hated on because of like their skin color. That's like they're human. Like it just scares me, and like I don't even want to think about it anymore because it's getting me sad.
So you see how like you've had that emotion, you have that feeling. Do you think there are people who like black people but they're afraid to have that possibility in the future? Like they don't want to date a black person because they see the problems that black people have, and they don't want to have that for themselves or for their family, so they will just avoid dating black people? Do you think that's like something that could come to a person's head?
That's something that could come to a person's mind, but I don't think that's something that people think of when they're like looking for a partner. You know what I'm saying? Like that never crossed my mind until we started dating. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean that like when I was little, the idea of like police shooting people was not like something that was in my mind. Like I'm sure you grew up thinking like make sure you respect police officers and like all of that. Like, you know, be careful and things like that. But like that, when I was little, that was not something that I ever dealt with. Like I didn't even like know that existed until like, not until I started dating you, but like before, you know, when I was like in high school and things like that. So like, that never crossed my mind. I never thought like, oh, if we get married and have kids, like my kids are gonna be affected by it too. But like, I mean, you just teach them to learn like if you've seen the movie The Hate You Give, you teach them like the dad did in the movie, like, oh, when a police officer talks to you, like whatever.
Always have your hands visible.
Yeah.
Always answer the questions. Don't be aggressive.
Yeah, which is so annoying that like that black people are seen as aggressive and like dangerous or whatever. Like, okay, we have to stop talking about it because I'm really gonna start crying.
But to answer that question, I'm not really concerned about them being bullied because
not bullied. I'm not concerned.
I don't think that happens too much in today's society, but I will teach them to be aware of their race and aware of how some people view like the black race as a negative, or be aware that like there are some negative stereotypes that may be like thrown at you, and I can only do the best I can by just teaching them to just love and be aware of their surroundings.
Why is your ear so hard to get?
But yeah, that is all for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed our questions.
Hope you guys enjoyed them. If you have any other questions, you can leave them in the comments below, and then maybe we can answer them.
Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Comment below if you're an interracial couple. Comment below if you have any questions about interracial relationships.
Let us know your experience if you're in
Ooh, I have a question. Are there any cultural differences between us? Like, do you think is it hard because are there any cultural differences?
I don't think it's hard per se, but I think there probably is cultural differences, like things. Oh, I know one. He likes calling his close family member aunts and uncles. Like, that's not your aunt or your uncle. I don't understand.
What am I supposed to say? You guys say senora and senora. I'm not gonna say Mr. or Mrs. That's too formal.
Or like, I don't know, or call them by their name, like
hey Mister, hey ma'am.
Yeah, but I don't like, for example, like
that's the translation in Spanish, like senora.
No. But I don't call like close family friends senora. I just call them by their first name. But yeah, that's one cultural differences. It doesn't make it hard. Like I understand it, and so like I just think it's like weird because I didn't grow up doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's a respect thing, so like whatever.
Well, I guess it's like the same thing as in like, if say for example you have a close friend, you'd want your kid to call them auntie. Is it not this? Would you not want your kid to call your close friend aunt, or no? Like this is Tia whatever, or no?
No, like but not really.
Or Tio whatever, no?
No, I don't know. I would have to think about it.
Whatever, but
Other than that,
I don't think there's
I think
any.
our cultures, just since you
Our
do
cultures
have a
are
Caribbean,
super different though.
No, but since you have like, we do have like, you're like have some Caribbean culture in you. The Caribbean culture and the Hispanic cultures are kind of similar, like respect wise, and like the food is a little bit different, but like it's still like flavorful food. You know, still good food.
You like that Caribbean flavor. You like the Jamaican spice.
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, I mean it's similar, but not really. And I don't think there's any complications with the culture thing.
Okay. Well, that is it for today's video. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.